Okay, my name is Jan Ehrenwerth. I'm professor of anesthesiology at Yale University School of Medicine. Anesthesia was an interesting because I ended up being exposed to a very influential anesthesiologist. Kind of by happenstance, because at the time the American Society of Anesthesiologists had these summer programs. And I ended up spending a summer in the department of Dr. Rick Syker, who went on to become the president of the American Society of Anesthesiologists and the president of the American Board of Anesthesia. So he really was a great influence and stimulated my interest and challenged me to go into anesthesia, and here I am. I think the information technology in anesthesia is really coming forward. In some ways it's being done very well, in some ways it's inhibiting our practice, but I think it's an evolutionary process. I think the integration of the monitoring with the record keeping is a new field that's coming along, and I think more and more the equipment that we're using is getting more electronic and getting more user-friendly. Initially, some of the electronic equipment was not very user-friendly, and I think that we're seeing some really good progress in that field. It's interesting because the old folks like me still like a book they can hold in their hand. And that's the way I like to read most things. But I think it's very clear that the people who are in training today and recently finished training and are of what I call the video game era are very much comfortable with the electronic readers, electronic books, and doing things online. And I think that being able to do both now is going to markedly enhance our ability to get the information out there. In addition to which, I think that they can pick up a book like ours and have these great figures that are now all in color and be able to just look at that and then look at their equipment and have really a much better understanding of how it works and what they need to do to learn about it. The reason we got involved initially was that we felt that there wasn't a really good anesthesia equipment book out there that was easily understandable by the broad range of people who we wanted to appeal to. There were books out there that were either very, very simple or very, very technical, and we felt that we could do a better job. And we spent a lot of time making the original edition very readable. And we hope we've accomplished the same thing with this edition. And we've updated it tremendously so that now everything is strictly, as close as we can get to publication. It's the first anesthesia equipment book that's in full color that covers the whole field. And that we have some chapters in there that not only deal with equipment, but deal with other things that are very important, such as ergonomics and such as how you interact with your equipment, display technology, some ideas on what the future of the equipment is going to look like. So I think it's got some really unique features that aren't covered in other texts. Well, it's been a very interesting experience. You learn a lot about trying to get people to write chapters for you. Some people are very willing to do it, others you have to kind of twist their arm, and once they agree to it, then there's an enormous amount of time spent actually getting them to produce the chapter, because everyone's very, very busy. Certainly if you did the whole book yourself, you have only yourself to worry about writing it. But if you're going to get true expertise on a whole variety of chapters, you really want to consult the experts in the various areas. And I think that's what we've done, and I think we've pulled that together very nicely.